Welcome back to the channel. Now for today's video, I'm doing, of course, a reading vlog. It's been quite a bit since I've done my reading vlog, and it's mostly because I've either did nothing interesting or I did stuff that was interesting and I wasn't in the mood to film because I was either just vibing and chilling with the vibes. So for example, in the month of August, I actually went on a little family getaway. We went to a city near the city I live in, which is not really near, it's in the next province over, but it's Montreal, and Montreal is the French speaking country here in Canada. I got to pretend that I was in Europe for a second, and I got to listen to people speak French, which I really enjoy because the language just sounds so nice and classy. But anyways, for this reading vlog, I will be focusing on mostly new releases. I want to try to, but I do have one book that was actually released last year that I'm going to be reading this year right now in this reading vlog, because book number 2 is actually coming out, I think, at the end of this month, and I want to read book number 2, but I don't know if I can read book number 2 in this reading vlog because I read very slow when it comes to ebooks and ARCs. But before we get started with the TBR and the books that I want to read in the reading vlog, I just wanted to say a special shout out to today's sponsor. So this is actually my first sponsored video, so I'm very excited that Literal, which is a book app, has decided to sponsor this video and to support my YouTube channel. So Literal is a social book platform, it's an app, and it's very, very similar to Goodreads. It's basically the new and improved version of Goodreads. It helps you build your personal library, it helps you discover your next favorite read, and you can actually import all the books from your Goodreads shelves into Literal with like a very quick click of the button. It also has a function of highlighting passages in books very easily. Like you just use your phone and you take a photo of the book and it literally like saves that quote inside the app for you. So no longer you have to like type out the quote or write out the quote in a quote journal. The app does it for you. And then you can also share your favorite moments with the people that are following you or your friends. And finally, you can even have like a very easy access to book clubs. So just from taking a quick glance of the app, I'm already in love with how easy it is to share reads and to discuss reads, and also to have those book clubs where you're in clubs where people are focused in the genre that you really like. And so there's already romance book clubs and also fantasy book clubs as well. So throughout this video, I'll also be using the Literal app to show you how easy it is to use and what I like about it the most, and how I import my books from Goodreads into Literal. I'll show all that to you in the next coming clips in my coming days of this reading vlog. But for this reading vlog, I do have kind of a tiny TBR right now that I want to get through, that I want to share with you, because I feel like if I tell you the books that I want to read in this reading vlog, I'm committed to it. I'm committed to telling you the reviews by the end of this time of this reading vlog is done. So the first book that I want to read is actually a book that I already started last night because I got too excited for it, but it is Julia Tews. I think that's how you say her last name, but I might have butchered it. And it's her debut novel called The Donut Trap. And now when I first heard about The Donut Trap, when, you know, news and announcements were coming out, I was psyched. I really, really wanted some Asian representation in my romantic comedies. And this book is actually coming out in November. So it's November 2nd, 2021 release. So I'm about a month early, which is great for me and my arcs. But The Donut Trap is about our heroine, and she is actually a recent grad, but she hasn't found a good job yet. So she decides to help out her family business, which is a donut shop. So for readers who really like donuts and bakery goods, this book is definitely for you, because I was literally drooling from the descriptions of the donuts and the breads and the cakes. But anyways, our heroine feels like she's in a rut because she's working at this bakery shop, but then her best friend sets her up on a blind date with her previous college crush that she had, and she meets him again and sparks fly. You know, they have this really deep connection, but then what happens is that they start to realize that he may not be perfect for her and she may not be perfect for him, and now the two families actually hate each other. So there's a lot of tension and a lot of angst between these two couples, and maybe their happily ever after will take a lot more time than we thought it once was. The second book that I want to read is actually a Christmas novel. Yes, I know. It's October and I know it's supposed to be spooky season, and I will read a lot of spooky books and paranormal novels for our upcoming paranormal romance readathon, but I just want to read Christmas novels because Jenny Holiday, which is one of my favorite authors, is going to have a new book that's coming out this year called Duke Actually, which is like book number 2 in her kind of like princess holiday series. So the first book is called A Princess for Christmas, and this one follows our princess who is going to be a queen someday, of this small country, and she has to go to America, specifically in New York City, for like this convention. And then she meets our hero, who is a single father cab driver, and he's just trying to make ends meet while also taking care of his daughter. And then he realizes that the passenger behind him is actually someone of nobility status, and now he is really intrigued by her, but then he's also really attracted to her too, because she's freaking gorgeous, and she herself is really attracted to this rugged New York City man. So it's like an opposites attract romance, and so far I'm also 30% into the audiobook and I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely like a Christmas vibes book too as well, because it's in December. It's a very chilly, snowy setting, and I definitely feel like it is closer to Christmas when I'm reading this book, and I'm really enjoying it so far too as well. Now the third book that I want to target to finish for this reading vlog is the new one by Alexis Daria. This one is called A Lot Like Adios, and it's book number 2 in Primas of Power series. So what happens is that our hero is actually a co-owner of LA's hottest celebrity gym, and then our heroine is owning a freelance business as a graphic designer, but then they kind of get mixed up with each other once again because they previously had a relationship, and this is actually a second chance romance that had a happily ever after kind of end 13 years ago. So 13 years later, they meet each other again and sparks fly, and they're trying to see if they could put past their differences and that they can have the happily ever after they do deserve. Now, for the first book of the Primas of Power series, which is called You Had Me at Ola, it was actually one of the biggest disappointments that I had in 2020. I actually didn't really like that book at all. I thought the writing was very stilted and very choppy, just very telly, not showy. So it was a lot more telling than showing. So I didn't really like it. And I thought overall the story was boring and the romance was lacking. And I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. So with A Lot Like Adios, I really don't have very high expectations for this book. And so far, listening to the audiobook of it already, I find that the writing is a little stilted and a little bit dry too as well. It definitely is very choppy, so it's a lot harder for me to sink into, but I think that is going to be my book number 3 to finish because it is a new release and it came out on September 14th, 2021. But anyways, you also saw a clip that I actually set up my projector, and I guess I could show you very quickly, like my projector screen right there. So basically, I set up a projector. I bought a projector. I set up a projector. I also set up some blackout curtains as well, mostly because I am addicted to watching K-dramas. Usually when I watch K-dramas, it's only for a couple of months and it doesn't last for a very long span of the year, mostly because I can't keep myself concentrated and, you know, get myself pumping to be like on top of the episodes that do come out. So 2 episodes usually come out every week, but for some reason I always fall behind on it and I stress about it a lot. But this year I've been really good at like keeping up with K-dramas, or at least the K-dramas that I do want to watch. And the 2 K-dramas I'm currently watching right now is actually Yumi Cell and Hometown Cha Cha Cha. And now Hometown Cha 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 is a Netflix K-drama, so you can watch it on Netflix. It's like so good. I really like it so much. It's an opposites attract, enemies to lovers romance. Our heroine is from Seoul, which is like the capital city of South Korea, and she is a dentist. She made her name there. She makes a lot of money there. But what happens is that she decides to start a practice in this very small town on like the coast side. And there she meets our hero, who is the complete opposite of her. You know, he's not materialistic. He wants to help out a lot of people and he's very kind and considerate, except for when it comes to people from Seoul who are very selfish and who are very snobbish about things. So they have this like heated like enemies to lovers romance, and then this is like so good. It's literally the thing that I look forward to the most on Saturdays and Sundays because it comes out on those days. And I bought the projection screen mostly because I want to watch it on the big screen, you know, cast it from a projector, watch it like it's a movie theater, see the actors up close because Kim Son Ho, I don't know how to say his name, is so good looking. And then the other drama that I'm watching right now is Yumi Cell, which I really enjoyed too as well. It's really weird. Like, usually K-dramas are like, you know, people, but then Yumi Cell, it features cartoon characters, so it makes me feel like I'm watching a children's TV shows half the time, because what happens is that our heroine cells are a cartoon show and it's like half cartoon, half human acting, and we get to see like the inside emotions and workings of Yumi, who is our main female heroine, and why she reacts certain ways and what the cells are doing in order to like make her feel that way. So it sounds really weird, but it's a very quirky show and it's a feel-good drama about Yumi, who had her heart broken 3 years ago, and now she has fallen in love with the person she went on a blind date with, and it's like their developmental stages of their relationship and their friendship, and it's so cute. I really like that one too as well. But yeah, those are the 2 dramas that I'm watching right now on the weekend, so I'm going to try to sneak some reading in before I indulge myself and watch my dramas, because if I know that if I watch my dramas first, I'm just gonna not be in the mood for reading, so I'd rather read first and then, you know, watch dramas until 3 a.m. because that's usually what I do. welcome back. Right now it is Sunday, and I just did a whole lot of things and a whole lot of nothing today. From my previous clips, you could probably tell that I've caught up with my weekend episodes of Hometown Cha Cha Cha, which is my latest K-drama obsession. It's one of my favorite dramas of this year already. It's an enemies to lovers, opposites attract romance that I previously explained in my clip before, and I highly recommend it to anybody who wants that kind of romance and who likes K-dramas. After that, I kind of just dove right into cleaning the house. Usually on Sundays is where I try to tidy up around the house, deep clean the bathroom, wash, any surfaces in the kitchen that might need some wiping down, and clean out my room, because usually my room is like a basically Area 51 where there are so many things on my desk, and there's just so many things on the carpet, and like there's corners in my room that are just so messy, and I tried to clean it up so that the start of my work week it'll be nice and clear and I could have, a nice balanced head. Right now, I am still in the process of cleaning my room. I still have to clean my desk, and I have to clean the areas near my desk up a little bit, tidy them up, and then I should be good for tonight. So this morning, I actually finished my first book for this reading vlog, which is called A Princess for Christmas. And I believe in my previous clip, I said that it was a single father romance. I was wrong. I totally forgot. But our hero is not a single father. He is just an older brother to a younger sister, and his parents has passed away, unfortunately, so he is the sole legal guardian of his younger sister. So he tries his best to take care of her and raise her to be a good person. And this romance, I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. On Goodreads, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I rounded it up. The reason why I'm giving it a 3.5 is because I really enjoyed the atmosphere that I was in. I mean, it fulfilled my wishes of what I wanted in a Christmas novel. I felt like it was December. I felt like that there was like piles and piles of snow outside. It felt cold. It felt like, those Christmas vibes that I really, really wanted. And there were some scenes in the book that I really thought was adorable. There were snowball fights, there was cuddling sessions, there was making out, all the good things that everybody wants in a good Christmas novel. And there were some things that I didn't like. And one of the things I didn't like was that our main heroine was raised as a proper princess. So, she's supposed to be like very polite, type A personality, and just like very formal and things like that. But she did mention that one of her hobbies growing up was to watch a lot of television, especially American television. And she would be very into the American culture and these programs and things like that. So it confused me when she was asking for things personally wise, like sexually wise, with her partner, which is our hero. She was very formal about it, and she seemed like she was like kind of like a caricature of a royal family member. And in my review, I actually said that too as well, because Prince William was raised to be a prince and to be raised as a royal family member, but I'm pretty sure that when he has conversations with Kate Middleton, he's not going to be so strict and so formal, and he actually has a personality unlike our female heroine. Other things I didn't like about this book was that it was your typical Christmas royal romance. Like, it follows kind of a very predictable plot line and predictable plot as well. So all to say, it was a great book, but it wasn't something that I could say that it was my favorite romance novel. So the next book that I did start while I was deep cleaning the house was actually The Love Hypothesis by, I believe, called Ali Hazelwood. And this book is literally, I feel like, the next beach read. Like, it is Ali's debut novel, and so far on Goodreads, since this has been published, which is in September, mid-September, it already has 31,000 ratings, and it's above a 4-star rating. My friends Jessica and Lacey have read it. They adored it. They love it. And it's just a book that everybody's talking about right now. And it's just amazing to watch these debut authors kind of just shoot to stardom from their debut novel. So The Love Hypothesis wasn't on my original TBR, but since hearing it from Jessica last night that she really enjoyed it, I decided to just listen to the audiobook while I was cleaning up around the house today. And The Love Hypothesis follows our heroine, who is a graduate student. She's working on research for pancreatic cancer, and she has many doubts in herself, as many scholars do, about their work and about their research and about their ability to carry carry out that research. And what actually happened was that our main female heroine actually kissed our hero, who is a professor in the department, because of a certain circumstance, and they have to carry out their fake dating relationship. So it follows that fake dating trope, and it's for her benefit and as well as for his benefit. For his benefit is that he can get more research grant money because people think that he is a flight risk at that university because he's always kind of like talking around to different universities, and the university that he's currently working at doesn't want to give him more money if he's just going to leave and go to a different one. Meanwhile, our heroine needs to protect her social status. But regardless, this is kind of like that, you know, woman in STEM romance, and it definitely follows a lot of issues when it happens when you start dating around faculty members and that prejudice that comes with it and that drama that comes with it. So far, it's sitting at a 4 out of 5 star read. I have 30 minutes left of the audiobook. I can see the quirks and the bits and pieces that lots of people love. Our hero is very stoic. He's definitely someone who doesn't show his emotions, but he is a giant cuddly bear. Like, he really cares about our heroine, and he's very protective of our heroine. Okay, so before I forget, we are going to go into our literal app on our phone, and we are going to add in the books that I have read and the book that I'm currently reading right now so I could keep track of it. Okay, so as you can see in my profile right here, I don't actually have a profile picture yet. I really like the profile picture that I have right now. It was a random one that the app populated for me, but she has similar hairstyle to me, and she also has a mustache, which is pretty cute. So as you can see, my profile is pretty empty, but this is how it looks like. So we have a currently reading tab, then we have want to read, and then we have a red bookshelf, and then we have shelves here that we can create ourselves. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add that book that I'm currently reading right now, which is The Love Hypothesis. So this is the one, and then we're going to mark it down as reading right now. And then here we can also see friends that have read this book already. So Genesis has read this book. She rated it. She gave a little review as well. And then she also has tags in here so that it's easier for her to kind of sort out like what her thoughts are for the book. And then we also have other reviews down here as well. I like how the first review I saw was like a 1-star review, but majority of the reviews are pretty high. And then we are going to go into A Princess for Christmas, because that's the other book that I just finished from Jenny Holiday. We're going to pick one out, and then we're going to say that we finished reading it, and I want to review it right now. I'm going to give it a 4 stars. Well, 3.5. Oh yeah, I forgot. So Literal app is really cool too because it gives you the option of giving a 1/2-star rating. So 3.5 stars. You know, I'm being very truthful with my review right now. And then we're just going to go in here and I'm going to just paste the review that I have already written for this book. It doesn't contain a spoiler, so we're just going to keep moving down. What words best describe this book? Okay, so it was simple, I agree, sweet, it wasn't surprising, it was feel good, definitely delightful, heartwarming, and it was an easy read. And then I'm going to post my review. So there we have it. My review is up with all these tags so that people who follow me will know exactly how I felt about this book. And then if we go back to my profile, you can see right here that it has been updated with currently reading. So there we have it. And then let's create a shelf right now. Maybe we can put it as the vlog bookshelf. Okay, it looks a little bit empty. So let's add the books that I want to target to read. So the one other book that I want to read is The Donut Trap by Julia Tew. And we're going to see if it pulls up. There it is. We're going to add that there. Then we're going to add A Lot Like Adios. So let it pull up. We're going to add that there. Perfect. And now I have like kind of like a visual reminder of what books that I want to target to read. And then another book that I also want to read for this is The Man Band. I want to see if I can get to it. Honestly, I feel like I have no issue. The audiobook isn't that long anyways. So yeah, so here are the books that I want to read for this reading vlog, including the love hypothesis. So I'll update you guys again when I get more reading done. Hi guys, today is Monday and I just finished work. I came back home from my little walk with my mom and it was great, except for the fact that outside right now it's very gloomy and it looks like it's going to storm very quickly. But I wanted to come back here and give you guys a reading update and also show you guys how I also update my literal app on my recent reads. I finished The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood and my friends absolutely loved it and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It wasn't a perfect 5 out of 5 stars for me, mostly because I didn't like the way how our female heroine handled the conflict. And I'm not trying to gaslight her because there is a trigger warning for sexual harassment, but I just felt that at that moment in her life when that did happen, she had a very strong group of friends and she also had a very supportive significant other that could have definitely helped her. And I knew she was like in a sticky situation because of who it was that was sexually harassing her. But I also felt that she could have spoken up and that if she was someone that is to be described as kind of like a girl boss, she would have done it sooner. So therefore I felt like the conflict was a little bit dragged out just for the sake of the story. Also, there were some things that I just didn't like about the book. For example, it follows the fake dating trope. I don't really like the fake dating trope, and in order for me to like a book with a trope that I don't like, it takes a lot for the author to convince me otherwise. So that's why I just gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Still enjoyed it and I would definitely recommend you guys to check it out. I know a lot of people love the book because it's steamy towards the end. So let's go ahead and update this book on my literal app. So the second book that I wanted to talk about that I also finished was A Lot Like Adios by Alexis Daria. Now, I wouldn't say I completely finished the book because I did DNF it around 50% way. I just struggled a lot with the writing, the characters, the plot. It just wasn't vibing with me a lot, and I figured that I wouldn't waste my time on a book that is just not going to bring me enjoyment anyways. Now, the thing about me is that for books that I do DNF, I also like to rate it and also write a little review so we're going to go into the literal app once again. I'm actually going to give it a 2-star rating. And then we're going to paste my review in there. And then now I'm going to say that there's not really much that I want to discuss here. So we're going to shuffle it. I would say that it is... I wouldn't really say... It was an easy read, I guess. And then we're going to post a review like that. Also, so the one reason why that I DNF'd it was also because the book started off as enemies to lovers. So our main characters were childhood best friends and it was a second chance romance trope. Basically, I think they were on the verge of dating each other because they liked each other a lot. But things just didn't work out because he ran away from his hometown when he was like still in high school and she was heartbroken by it. She didn't want to see him ever again, but then they reconnect with each other when they are in their adult years and he started his celebrity gym and he needs the help of a graphic designer to redesign the website, and in walks our heroine who owns her own graphic design business and they partner up to work together on this like whole project. And I thought it was really weird because the first 20% in already, our two characters have already become friends again, and they have also turned into this weird like enemies with benefits where they hated each other but then they also wanted to have benefits with each other. So I was just taken aback by it. I just felt the writing was just not for me. It was very clunky. And I read a lot of Goodreads reviews of it already. And I also see some reviews on Literal too as well, where people didn't like the book and thought that it was like a Wattpad novel. So that's exactly why I also had to DNF it. But I'm going to come back here and update you guys more on my next reads. All right, welcome back, guys. Today is Wednesday, and I haven't filmed anything yesterday, mostly because I wasn't doing too much reading. I was kind of just wrapping up my reading anyways of The Man Band by Nicola Marsh. Now, this one follows a character who has recently been in some turbulent relationships. She's not too happy about it, so she decides that she wants to go on a man ban and she thinks that guys aren't worth her time. But then she meets our hero at a wedding and There, she has this kind of like love-hate relationship with him. She is really attracted to him, but she hates everything that spews out of his mouth because she thinks that he's super judgmental and he basically insulted her work. She is a food stylist. Meanwhile, our hero is a very workaholic womanizer doctor, and he has been way too busy to focus on his love life. But when he sees our heroine, he can't help but want to chase after her and want to be with her. And both parties have very difficult issues that they're dealing with. They have family issues. So, for example, our hero needs to marry someone very soon because his grandma has always been pushing him to get married because he's already 40 years old and, like, you know, he's pushing the limit basically. Meanwhile, our heroine has some issues with her family as well, specifically regarding her parents' relationships. So these two people hate each other, but then 20% in, it quickly turns from enemies to lovers to friends with benefits. And they decide to have a very loosey-goosey relationship where they don't involve feelings and they don't want anything too serious because they don't think that they're ready for it. Now, with all that being said, I felt that the two main characters fell very flat for me. Did not care about our two characters at all. Didn't care if they got together at all because they got together way too quickly. Feelings were developed way too fast, so there wasn't really that angst factor in it. Didn't really make me want to continue reading the book. But the one thing that did make me want to continue reading the book is really looking at the side character stories. So, for example, our hero's grandmother, I really wanted to learn more about her, then our heroine and her family issues too. I wanted to see like what was the end game for both of the families. With all that being said, I think this book was just a very, very average read, so I'm just going to give it a 3 out of 5 stars. Now, the next book that I wanted to finish was actually The Donut Trap by Julia Tew. I've talked about it earlier on in my reading vlog, and you know, it's an ebook, and unfortunately for me for this week, I was quite busy and I wasn't in the mood to kind of sit down and to push through an ebook. So I've decided to hold off on finishing The Donut Trap for the time being. I think I'm just going to finish it on my own time and just outside of this reading vlog. But so far, once again, I'm like 30% in the ebook. I think it's like really sweet so far. They've met each other again and they see that sparks are flying. Just reading the synopsis, I just know that these two characters are not going to just see rainbows and sunshines all the time, and that there are going to be issues coming their way very quickly and very soon. So I also wanted to quickly talk about Literal app. You know, throughout the whole reading vlog, I've been using the Literal app and I really enjoy it so far. I like how minimalist it is and how easy it is to sort through like different items, to find books, to find friends, and it's definitely more of a social app as compared to Goodreads. Now, I've been using Goodreads for majority of my book blogging days. Like, once I got really serious with reading and wanting it to make it more than just my hobby, I've been using Goodreads probably later than most of the people here on BookTube and most of the people in the book community because I was a late bloomer with like blogging and things like that. But I always had an issue with Goodreads simply because I felt that it wasn't an app that was very friendly to use. There was a lot of things that you had to like pick up on. You know, replying to a simple comment from someone commenting on your review was really hard. Having a conversation was really hard. And like just like a lot of like small little things that they could have tidied up and cleaned up to make it easier to use. So that's why I find it so thrilling and so amazing how all these new app developers are coming out and they're going to say that they have something better than Goodreads. And I feel like Literal is a great contender for it. There's so many like features on this app that is way better than Goodreads already, just from like the simplicity of like you figuring out like what you want to do. Like, it's very intuitive and it's clean once again, and it's more community focused, I feel like, because you get to have more of a conversation. I mean, like, come on, like one of the tabs is the clubs app where you can join clubs and have conversations with readers like yourself. So I have a link down in my bio that you can go check out. It's completely free. There are no ads, and it's something to think about if you have struggled with Goodreads for quite some time. Once again, it's also very easy to import all your books from Goodreads into Literal. It's literally just a click of a button, and you really lose nothing from switching over. I really like it so far, and it's definitely going to be an app that I'm going to keep on my phone to keep using. But that is it for my reading vlog. I know it's been quite a journey, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys again next time with a new video. Bye.